Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a video covering the Build a Tank Challenge, Earn the T28 concept, and more. So if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, as it really does help out the channel. And yes, this is the earn up that they are running as part of Winterfest to be able to earn the T28 concept, or the T28 HTC. It's a tier 7 preferential premium tank destroyer, at tier 7, naturally, as I've just said. And it's a tank destroyer that I'm not the biggest fan of, if I'm honest. It's a very old school tank, and it does struggle in this day and age. But you can earn it for free again, because I think they had an earn up for it last Christmas as well. But yeah, you can earn it for free again. So, what's it all about? Well, complete goals to get the tank pieces, then convert pieces into parts to claim the rewards in this chained challenge. So from the 10th of December to the 7th of January, which is nearly a month, you will be able to earn this T28. So you might have seen starting December 10th, there'll be a lot of in-game stuff going off due to Winterfest. But for those who love a good old earn challenge, guess what? We've got something for you. And that is the T28 concept. So, the reason the T28 concept was chosen as the ultimate reward for this challenge, this vehicle has a special skin available, the Santa's Sleigh Hero skin. While Winterfest is live, you can get the skin from the Winterfest storefront using the snowballs you acquired from this challenge. So if we flick over to the game over here, you can see in the Winterfest storefront, if we go to the appearance tab, there is Santa's Sleigh for 2,000 snowballs. And that's this skin right here for the T28 HTC. As you can see, it's delivering Santa's presents and joy and joyous 105mm gun kind of stuff. Is it 105? Yeah, joyous 105mm gun stuff. But yeah, that's the skin, and that's how you get it. So, that's not all. Build a Tank is also the Celebrations monthly challenge for December, so part of Celebrations. After you complete its final stage, you'll also receive your exclusive Celebrations emblem, which is this here. Build a Tank requires you to complete goals to receive tank pieces, the pieces of the T20 concept you'll build. Almost all the goals can be completed in multiplayer co-op, but you can be done in 3 Winterfest special event battles as well: the Holiday Ops, Toy Tank Mode, the Ice Queen's Curse, and the Siege of Frostbite Castle. Take a look. So, Build a Tank basic goals. So, the basic goals to get a piece is destroy vehicles, so destroy 2 or more vehicles in any number of battles, and that's tank piece 1. I believe this one stacks, or from my experience anyway. Assist damage, so assist in 300 damage in a battle, which is tank piece 1. And spot 3 enemies and deal 600 damage in a battle, which is another tank piece. Because this is any number of battles, this does stack, so if you end up with 4 kills, you get 2 tank pieces, that sort of thing. So the minimum you'll get from a game, if you get a bit of assistance and you spot 3 enemies, so basically if you play a light tank, say, and you manage to get 2 kills, you could get 3 pieces in a game, maybe more depending on your kills. So this will rack up quite quickly as you play. And the Build a Tank special event wins. To get a tank piece, win 2 battles in the special event, and that will also get you a tank piece. Once you've started gathering tank pieces, you'll need to use the tank piece converter to change your pieces into parts. The tank piece converter is actually a challenge listed under the challenges tab. Head there to convert your pieces. Well, as you can see right here, this is, if we get it, there we go. There we go, the tank piece converter, there it is. So all you've got to do is when you get enough pieces, and that is 5 out of 5, you just press A on that, and it will let you convert a tank piece, and it'll add it to this Build a Tank 1 / right? 3 out of 5 currently is what I've done, for example. So that is how you convert your tank pieces. That is how you see it, because it will say, if you have more than 1 piece, it will say 15 out of 5, and it will convert all 3 pieces and make you the 3 pieces, because that's what I did to get those 3 pieces of Build a Tank. So yeah, that's how and where you do it. So let's get it back up. So as you can see, once you've started gathering tank pieces, you'll need to the tank piece converter is select to convert 5 tank pieces into a part, and you get the 1 part, as I've just shown you in the game. The tank parts are what count towards the completion of a Build a Tank, so earn your tank pieces, convert them into parts, and collect those parts to build and earn your shiny new vehicle, a Santa 3D Hero Commander with new custom voiceover, and more. Please note, if you already own the T28 concept, then upon the completion of the challenge, you'll receive its value in silver. So 2.8 million silver is what you'll get if you already own this vehicle, which is quite a nice boon to your silver stores. So, Build a Tank 1, so for creating the first 5 parts, you'll get 50,000 silver. For creating 10 parts, you'll get Holiday Mailbox. For creating 15 parts, you'll get the pierced emblem with 1,000 snowballs. So adding to that total of what you are trying to unlock, you know, in the bigger picture of Winterfest. Build a Tank 4 for 20 parts, you'll get some repair kits and med kits. At Build a Tank 5 for 25 parts, you'll get the Gingerbread Man. It's good old Gingerbread Man. He just reminds me of the meme when I look at him. Anyway, Gingerbread Man, 2D standard commander. Build a Tank 6 for 30 parts, you'll get the 2x vehicle XP booster and 3,000 snowballs. So again, adding to your total for Winterfest, so you can get that ELC or the 283 easier. At Build a Tank 7 for 35 parts, you'll get all the cookie camo vouchers, which is a nice little skin that you can put on your tank. Not got it yet because I've not got there. At Build a Tank 8 for 40 parts, you'll get yourself a festive fireplace for your garage. At Build a Tank 9 for 45 parts, you'll get yourself 4x Commander XP boosters and 6,000 snowballs. So you're getting, so far, up to this point, 9,000, 10,000 snowballs so far for up to Build a Tank 9. Build a Tank 10 for 50 parts, you'll get an Angry Rudolph. Build a Tank 11, you'll get a Happy Tank inscription. At 12 for 60 tank parts, you'll get 8,000 snowballs and 3 days of premium. So we're talking 18,000 snowballs just for finishing this so far. And then Build a Tank, what is that, 13? Roman numerals, bro. 65 tank parts, you'll get the Light Up Sleigh. At Build a Tank 14, you'll get 70 tank parts, which will give you the Santa 3D Hero Commander, which actually has a new custom VO for this year, which is really cool. And then at 75, you will get 11,000 snowballs from the T28 HTC. So if my maths is right, we'll get what? 29,000 snowballs from this up, which will nearly get you to the ELC. It puts you past the 283 level as well. So yeah, then you'll get the T28 HTC at that Build a Tank 15 for 75 parts in total. Like I say, overall, the earn up for a whole month, this will be fairly achievable. Just by playing, generally, you'll pick up what you want from it, and then it'll help towards your Winterfest total of getting the tanks you want from it, or the little bits and bobs that you might want to pick up from the store. And yeah, it's not the hardest earn up in the universe, really. You just make sure that you are doing this. So you're picking kills as you go along to get your tank pieces, getting assistance damage, at least 300 in a battle to get the tank piece. I'm assuming because it's assisting 300 damage, that means you can get tracking or spotting, so track people, and people will shoot them. That's the best way to get that. And then spot 3 enemies and deal 600 damage, so play a light tank again, go spotting, dish out the 600 damage. Or play a medium that's quite good, or play any tank that's good to get into aggressive spotting locations, you know? So that's the earn up for the T28 HTC. So, let's have a quick look at the T28 HTC. Well, here it is, in action. The T28 HTC, let's have a look at its equipment loadout. So, as you can see, I run the advanced loader, the traction system, optics. Optics to be able to get my view range up to the 473 meters of view range that you see there. Traction system, not for the top speed, but for the track traverse, because the track traverse on this tank is utterly atrocious. So you want to help it as much as humanly possible, because it is awful. I can't understate how bad the track traverse is on this vehicle. The advanced loader to make the best out of the DPM as well, because it is a tank destroyer. It's nice to be able to destroy things quickly. And then in terms of a commander, good old Steven, we've got Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Track Mechanics, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Clutch Braking, Camouflage Expertise. Camouflage Expertise because it does knock the camo down a little bit, and it's quite nice to have that bit extra camo when you're in a tank destroyer, and especially one that is supposed to have armor but doesn't really feel like it. The clutch braking to make the track traverse better so that you can turn quicker, because like I say, the track traverse is atrocious. The run and gun to knock the accuracy drawing movement down as low as possible so the aim circle doesn't bloom out that much when you're moving, because it is pretty poor if you don't help it a little bit. And steady aim to make the accuracy generally better on this vehicle. And then track mechanic, because you are a turretless tank destroyer and you are a bit of a brawly TD, so you want track mechanic so that people don't track you and just get around your side. The situational awareness as well, and all these, well, basically these 5 perks you're going to take on every single tank in World War II. So let's have a look at the statistics of the tank while it's fully kitted out with that setup. As you can see, we've got a 31 km/h top speed with an 11 km/h reverse speed, 960 horsepower engine, which is 13.71 horsepower per ton ratio, meaning that you do get up to that 31, nearly 32 km/h top speed, but you are a bit sluggish to get there. 20% internal fire chance means you are quite likely to get set on fire, and due to the modules, if we have a look at the old engine, that engine block in the back, as soon as you get shot anywhere in the back, or behind the turrets, even getting shot through the turrets at that sort of angle, right, they will set you on fire. And that is, it is pure pain. It's pure pain. It gets set on fire a decent amount, this vehicle. So you got 880 hit points as well, which is really not that much. And for a brawly tank destroyer like this, it really doesn't take much to knock you out. You got 21.58 degrees a second on the track traverse, which is where I say the track traverse is shocking. It is so slow, and that's with everything to help it out as much as possible. Traction system, clutch braking, you name it. That is the best we could get it up to. 2.39 soft, 1.93 on medium, 1.38 on firm is not that great. And one of the reasons why it feels so sluggish to get to its top speed. 314 meters of steel concealment is okay. Not great, but it's okay. And that will help you to stay unspotted a little bit easier. But the moment you start moving, you will get spotted because it's only 360 meters of on the move concealment. 473 meters of view range is also fairly decent for a tier 7 tank destroyer. A lot of the tier 7 tank destroyers don't get that high, so that can be okay for you. You've got 19.55 degrees a second turret rotation speed, which is your gun traverse. When you don't have a turret, it means that's how fast your gun will traverse to left and right. So that is okay, really. 30 degree yaw limit, on the gun traverse means that you don't have a fully traversable turret and you don't really turn the gun that far to the left. Well, no, actually, that does turn quite a bit to the left and right, which can be quite useful. And you'll see how, in the games, how you want to be angling to try and get the best out of your armor with that as well. You have 4.4 degrees of gun depression, which is not very nice, and again makes it pretty awkward when you get near a ridgeline. Just one accuracy during rotation, which is not horrific actually for a tank destroyer, but it's also not good. And 1.91 accuracy during movement, which again is actually not that bad for a tank destroyer, especially one that like this. So it means the aim circle doesn't bloom out that badly, and you got 1.93 second aim time, meaning it does aim in very fast, this tank. But it does feel derpy, because you've got 0.32 accuracy at 100 meters, the best we can get it to, and it does like to derp its shots at times, this gun, which can be really frustrating. 7.29 second reload, which is 2.6k DPM, which isn't too bad. 181 penetration on the standard AP, 224 on the premium APCR, with 320 damage on those rounds. It's a typical American 105 gun. 872 meters a second shell velocity on the standard AP, 1075 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR, 901 meters a second shell velocity on the standard HE, So the shell velocity is way below average on the standard AP. APCR is pretty okay, going above average at 1075, but yeah, the shell velocity does feel a bit pooey at times on that standard AP rounds. It does have 140% silver bonus, which is not bad for a tier 7 premium tank, meaning it does make a decent amount of silver for a tier 7 premium. And it has preferential matchmaking, which means that, again, the worst you'll ever see in matchmaking is tier 8. You won't see tier 9s in this vehicle unless you fail platoon, and by fail platooning, I mean you platoon up with someone else who isn't driving a tier 7 tank destroyer, pretty much. Or tier 7 tank in general, I should say, because obviously if you platoon up with someone that is driving a tier 7 anything, you'll all of a sudden not be able to get that preferential matchmaking, and you'll just be doing yourself a disservice, quite honestly, which is not a good time. So, what I'm going to do is quickly show you the armor model layout for the T28 HTC. I don't know if you notice how much I was stalling there to get it up. So this is the live armor model. This is shooting it yourself with AP. What I'm going to do is flick on 224 pen APCR, because a lot of tanks have that at tier 8, and quite a few tanks at tier 7 will also have that, especially tank destroyers like an AT7, for example, which you can see in the replay. As soon as they're shooting at this lower plate, it gets penned. And this is where I say that it used to be pretty damn good. These days struggles quite badly, because it used to be that this lower plate was actually, you know, the upper plate's really bouncy, as you can see, but the lower plate, did bounce a good amount, because a lot of tanks didn't have anywhere near 200 pen. But these days, it kind of gets shredded. You had the weak points on the side, so if you see this thing, these two spots are really easy to penetrate, especially for tier 5s and tier 6s. So if you see this T28 HTC in your games, shoot the little machine gun ports, because if we go to the hybrid, you can see it there. They are the machine gun ports that are very easy to pen. They're very easy weak spots. What you want to be doing in your T28 HTC is when you're coming around corners, is come around a corner like that, so that this part of your track is covered, and this part of the wall is covering this section of your tank, because it will make this lower plate very, very difficult to penetrate. They still can, though, which can be really frustrating. And it means that you're using your armor to your best of your ability. And it means this tank can be pretty good in terms of its armor. But what I've found is generally, if you're trying to start relying on this armor, it lets you down so often, which is really annoying. I kind of wish that this was buffed to quite a good point, because these weak points are so prominent and so easy to hit that having a lower plate that's easily pennable by a lot of tanks as well can be pure pain for the T28 HTC. But yeah, that's how you take it out. So what I'm going to do now is send you over to the replays where you can watch this tank in action, see how it handles, and be able to see what you will be getting for free from this earn-up. So as always, everybody, I'll see you in the replays. So here we are in the replays with the T28 HTC. As you can see, we've got the Santa Sleigh skin on. We're going to deliver our juicy 105mm presents to the enemy team. And we're on this map, which is Arctic region. I did not, sadly, get the Santa recorded because I didn't expect him to go so... It was one of those things where I was watching the game load in, and I was like, I just heard a ho-ho-ho, and I was like, what? As he flew overhead, but it didn't happen right at the start of the game. I feel like it should happen just as it hits 000, right, and the countdown finishes. But it happens as soon as you load into the game. So I loaded into the game, I had like 1 minute 40 to wait because Series X things, and I missed the recording, sadly. But we have got a little bit of a booster on this game, which is quite handy, because at the minute, if you don't know, if you play on a winter map, you will end up getting Santa fly above your tank. He'll give you a booster, which is automatically applied to the game, and it could be one of 4 different boosters, which was like free XP, Commander XP, General XP, or Silver, which can be pretty nice, right? But we're on this map, which is Arctic region, like I say, in the T28 HTC. And in the T28 HTC, I was thinking, right, what do I want to do with this vehicle? It's a tier 8 game, so it's not the best matchmaking. In fact, this is the worst matchmaking we could get for the HTC. And I'm thinking, right, okay, you know what? I could sit back here, where this ISM was, poke around the corner and fire as he spots things up. But instead, because I don't trust this gun, because like I say, this gun can be really derpy, and it's really frustrating in that way for that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to get up close and personal. I'm going to get up close and personal, try and use the little ditch right next to the T32 and his friends, and try and just keep poking over and putting shots in. It's probably not the best idea, because we don't have any gun depression. And with 4.5 degrees of gun depression, or 4.4, it's going to be really awkward to take this position and use it properly. So I wouldn't really recommend it. I would fully recommend, if you're going to do it, go sit back where I first said about A4 and then shoot the people as they get spotted by the ISM. But I don't always trust that position, because not that often people actually come forward to the little bowl in front of me and spot, so you don't actually end up managing to do the damage anyway, or because they don't get spotted. But we're looking for a shot into the cupola there, or the machine gun port of the AT-15, and we get it straight in. 181 pen will go through that. T-32, we might struggle. AT-15 just turns around, automatically snaps the shot straight through our lower plate, and that's because 226 pen is going through us every single time through that lower plate, which is a sad time. And this is where we're getting the gun depression issues. We've got to readjust to get a better position on this ridgeline to get the gun depression. We put a shot through the machine gun port there, and it was like one of those moments where we go, oh, that looked like that probably should have hit, but okay. Then we ricochet off the roof, which is a sad time, and we are the devil right now, 666 damage. Get rid of that 666 damage, we're not the devil anymore. And the T-32 firing APCR goes straight through the lower plate that was extremely well angled anyway, because that's this tank's armor, it happens. And even getting shot through that lower plate, you do get, even though the engine module is in the back of the tank, it does get its engine damaged quite a lot as well, which can add to a bit of the frustration here for the T28 concept. But their Draugans come out, it's like, hello, Mr. Draugan. Sir, I could shoot you, but I'm just being extremely awkward right now, because I'm just like, I don't want the T-32 to just poke over and get a shot through my lower plate. I felt like if I poked forward, the T-32 was just going to go, oh, hello, lower plate, and penetrate me. But thankfully, he ends up firing at someone else, and I go, oh, I'll try and get a shot in, but sadly, it's just not coming off right now. We're 1,286 damage, 322 assistance, and this is what you're seeing is the sort of average experience of my games in the T28 HTC, where we're sat here going, this is really awkward. I can't really attack that easily, because I should be a fortress tank, you know? I should be that sort of heavy brawling tank destroyer, but I just don't feel it whatsoever, because my armor is so butter at times. And we managed to get 2 shots into the track of the T-32, which got some assistance, which is good for the tank part up, right? We didn't get any kills, though, which is not good for the tank part up. So we finished with the epic victory 0 kills, 1936 damage, 811 assistance, second class with the 1422 base XP, which is a fairly average game there for the T28 HTC, and in a tier 8 game, so we'll take it, I suppose. And we're on to the second replay, and this second replay, we are again in a tier 8 game, and we're on Pearl River. So on Pearl River, what I'm thinking of doing is going to the little heavy tank brawly section, where people do kind of brawl in their heavies down at the Red Panda Woods, as it's called. Oh yeah, pandas! Let's go pandas! Sorry, I mean, what? I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we're going to B8, B9, because that is a good zone for brawling with your heavily armoured tanks. There's lots of little bits of elevation, there's little corners to fight round, which is perfect for this tank, right? Because, again, if you can angle yourself where you're only just about poking your drive wheel through around the corner, or not even doing that, and having your gun fully angled, you're going to bounce a decent amount off that lower plate. You just got to be careful about what you're going against, because, like I say, a lot of the tier 8s firing premium will just go straight through it anyway, because it's a little bit sad in that regard. And even though you're covering your weak points, your strongest armour is pointed towards them, they still pen you, which is why I say it's a little bit sad for the T28 HTC. It's one that I do think really does need a bit of a buff, maybe a bit more hit points, putting up to like 1,000 or 1,100, you know, giving that brawling TD vibe for it, and then upping that lower plate so that it's not easily pennable by tier 7s, tier 7s firing premium or tier 8s. Just, again, giving it that little bit of survivability, because it doesn't really have the survivability, and because you've only got a 31 kilometre an hour top speed. I mean, you're seeing us right now, 23, 24. How slow are we going? We're very, very slow, which means we struggle to get to position. We don't really have any camo, so we get spotted quite easily when we fire, which is why I've tried to help it out a little bit. It just doesn't feel like its role exists that much anymore in the T28 HTC, which, yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating for it. So as you can see on Pearl River, the one reason that I don't often come this way is that this position at B8 is really hit and miss on our version of the game, because no one's here. And the amount of times that happens is frustratingly high. But you can guarantee the moment you decide to go to J2, all of their team will come this way. Sod's law. It's Sod's law. It's what it is. That's the law of Sod. Yep. Whatever will happen can happen. I mean, that's Murphy's law. But it applies for Sod's law too. Or actually, it's more like the way that you go, everybody else is going to go completely the opposite way, because they just don't like you and you smell. Which is sadly true. Anyway. We see the Tiger P. That Tiger P's realised he's made mistakes. So we get a shot into the back of the Tiger P. He's down to a possible one-shot if we high roll. And, in fact, he took a hit before that, and we managed to finish him off. Because the VK is where he is and he's not getting killed, nothing's detecting... Well, nothing was shooting at us while we were detected. I feel very comfortable and confident in going after this VK 3002M and the heavy tanks. Now, I didn't expect these guys to have come after us. I thought they were going to go into the middle. But it's like, oh boy, hello guys. So we get a shot into the VK 3002M. I was trying my best to get rid of the tank that's trying to get around me, because you don't want them to get around your side, and we finish him off. Now I've got a Tiger 1 hammer directly in front of us, which I'm kind of scared of, because he's got a good pen, and if he fires Prem, my HP is going to disappear. We put the Firefly down to a one-shot, because we really want to get guns out of this game if we can. Shot straight through the cupola of the AT7. He's now a one-shot. You've just seen the AT7 go, ha, lol, because he's firing APCR, which means he can go through his quite easily. Go for that cupola again, and we ricochet! RNG, no, why? No, don't do that to us. It was ricochet off his cupola. Hopefully we get the finishing shot in, aim it up, and it misses! And then we take a hit in the side, which makes me go, oh no, I've got to go forward, which means we take a hit from the AT7, make sure we finish him off that time. Imagine if we'd actually not had the bad RNG and we killed him, we'd have had more hit points. Thankfully, the Firefly bounces, though. We ricochet off the Firefly. What are we doing, gun? This is the gun in a nutshell. It's so frustrating. Thankfully, he bounces again, and we finish him off. That was the gun in a nutshell. That's the tank in a nutshell, to be honest, that whole brawl. We see the IS in the middle. I'm like, okay, that IS is stock. I've seen him hitting people for 180. I should be able to go around and bounce him, because he's only got 160 pen on his stock round, on that stock gun. So I'm like, okay, I can take this guy. This should be fine, right? Not if he's firing premium. He's got 220 premium pen on his APCR, which meant he went straight through our armor anyway. And we finished the game with the 4 kills, 2.3k damage, 880 block, the third class with the 748 base XP on a loss, which was a sad time there for the T28 HTC. Again, another fairly average game for it. And again, it showed off the frustrations I have with the tank. That whole brawl was a frustration. Because we bounced a few shots from the Tiger, who was firing standard. Because he has 203mm of penetration. That is my base armor for my lower plate. It was angled, which means he's not going to go through it. If he hits the droids on the... If he hits, yeah, the R2-D2s on the side, or the machine gun ports, whichever one you want to take on that one, he'll easily pen us. But because of the angle, he didn't quite have a shot at our right-hand one, and our left-hand one was kind of concealed around the corner, and he had to overexpose, which is exactly how the tank wants to be played. The 88, however, had pressed A. He'd got his 250-odd penetration premium round and gone, I see your lower plate, and I raise you my premium round. And his 252 pen just went, lol, and went straight through. And we got all of our hit points butchered. We also got a bit unfortunate that out of the blue, we started getting hit from the side, which is not something I expected, because the fact is, well, I expected to start getting hit there earlier, and it just didn't happen. So I thought I was safer, and then because of the fact that we started taking those hits, we had to basically change up the position we were in. So we're on the third and final replay, and this one we're on the brand new map, which is Safe Haven. And on Safe Haven, this little corridor is so good for brawling heavy tanks. If you're in a heavy tank, this is a very, very good position to take, because you can side scrape off this wall, as me and this VZ are doing, and you can see me side scraping, well, not even side scraping, you can see me angling exactly how the T28 HTC wants to be. We're not poking all of our drive reel around the side, we're angling the lower plate. He cannot see our droids, which means we can aim up the shots and guaranteed get the shots through his cupola, and he's struggling to penetrate us. And we finished off that VZ 44-1, but there's so many little different angles you can take in this zone that is such a good position to go in as a heavy tank, or an armoured tank, I should say. So we're up to 1300 damage with a kill so far. It's like, hello, Mr. AT7. I see you, my friend. Let's see if we can get some shots into his easy cupola. So we drive around the corner. He puts a shot straight through the lower plate. Absolutely no problem. The SMVCC 56 drives across the open. I'm like, well, okay, then let me try and track and pen him. Sadly, we blow his tracks off, but don't track him, because what I didn't want him to do was get across us and then start firing at us through that gap that we were trying to shoot at him there. Because I don't want that crossfire, because that is not good. So sadly, he got away, but we'll go for that cupola shot on the 87. It goes in, and you can see I'm now mindful of what is going on. I'm just watching what he's doing. The 87 drives around. Thankfully, he bounces. Another shot straight through his droid on top, putting him down to a one-shot. We're up to 2.2k damage, and we really need to finish this guy off if we can. We go for the shot, finish him off. Beautiful scenes. And you can see he went straight through the lower plate again, and I was like, oh, God. Tiger 1 comes in. It's like, hello, Mr. Tiger 1. So we put a shot through the lower plate, and he's firing HE. And I'm like, huh? Is this man firing HE? Yes, and we bounce, because this gun is so frustrating. We bounce off a Tiger 1, but this guy's firing HE, which means, yeah, he's not going to do anything. The VK next to me is also firing HE, and I'm like, what is going on? What is this game right now? Oh, my lord. We've gone from an AT7 who basically bounced off us once or twice to the Tiger 1. So we've got a Tiger 1 in front of us. We need to get rid of his gun. The M6 is shooting us. It's like, Mr. Tiger 1, please go. We get rid of the Tiger 1. The M6, like I say, is looking at us. There's the TD come after us now. So I'm waiting for the reload to put a shot through the upper plate of the M6. There we go. Now we've got a Brumbayer. Now the Brumbayer is not going to pen us, but he's going to sling HE because he has a derp gun, which means he doesn't care about my armor. I really need to get rid of this guy if I can. There's a medium tank in a buggy behind us, but I have to get rid of the derp gun, because also he could just pen me in the rear, which is not a good time, especially if he's firing the heat round. So we put a shot through his upper plate. He drives round, derps us, leaves us on 93 hit points, and we finish him off. The buggy's finished off the VK3001P. We're turning. Thankfully, he bounces, and we get the snapped shot into the buggy, putting him down to a one-shot, and we're up to 4.8k damage with 4 kills, 1455 blocked as well. And again, you saw the drawbacks of the T28 HTC. You saw some of the, well, all the drawbacks really, where the gun decides, you know what, you've got a whole lower plate, you've got the whole mid plate. I'll hit the one spot where it could ricochet, because I hate you. And that's the way RNGesus is in this tank for me. It hates me. And when they just aimed for the low plate and they were firing their higher pen rounds, they went straight through it every single time with no real problem. Occasionally we bounce them, which is nice, but it's just the unreliability of the armor, which can be so frustrating for me in the T28 HTC. Because you don't feel like you have anything you can rely on. Because, yeah, your DPM's alright. 2.7k DPM is actually pretty good for a tier 7 tank, to be fair. But the gun feels unwieldy at times, which is can be really frustrating. The armor sometimes feels like, oh, I'm bouncing everything. And sometimes it's like, Why am I Swiss cheese? What is going on? I mean, I like cheese, but I don't want to be the cheese. You know, like, it's just the way it is, and it's just a frustrating tank, it really is. The only real nice thing about it is the fact that you have preferential matchmaking, which can be nice to have at times. So as you can see, the last tank on the enemy team is the artillery. He's hidden in this little corner because it's a little pig pen that they like to go to when they realise the game's over. And are we going to get there? No, we're just a little bit too slow, sadly, to get there. And Santa's sleigh does not manage to deliver his 105mm presents, which is just a sad, sad time. And we finished the game with the really nice total there. The victory, the 4 kills, 4.8k damage, a bit of blocked, like I say, good amount of credits, 110,000. The ace tanker, the steel wall, the high caliber, the sniper medal, with that 2076 base XP. Damn nice game there for the T28 HTC, which is a tank that you can get from this challenge that is currently going on for the whole month. And yeah, that's the T28 HTC. And remember, if you already own it, you'll get 2.8 million silver. And at worst, you also get like 28,000, 29,000 snowballs, which we'll take. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success.